and welcome back to my channel, or if this is the first video of mine you are seeing, then welcome. It's time for a new everyday makeup drawer. This one is for the month of May, and if you are watching this on the day it uploads, it is my birthday today, so yay. It's time to switch these products out, and I have tried some new products lately, and I'm probably going to be including a lot of some newer stuff to me, simply because I want to get more of a test of them. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start out with brows first. In my last drawer, I had the e.l.f. Instant Lift Waterproof Brow Pencil and the Refi Brow Gel. So I am actually going to take the e.l.f. brow pencil out, but I'm going to leave the Refi Brow Gel in simply because I did recently try the Refi Brow Pencil. This one's in the shade medium, and I want to keep these pairings together because I love both of these so much together. And this has probably become my favorite brow gel again, simply because it's about the only one in my collection currently that will hold like my brows in place. So I'm going to include these two this time. Okay, last time I had this e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Stick in the shade Rose Gold, and then this Creme Gel Liner from ColourPop in the shade Peach Fuzz. So I'm going to be replacing both of these. Instead of doing a liner, I might do two eyeshadow sticks instead. So let me go through that and see which ones I pick out. Okay, I'm going to include these two from Colorspell. These were sent to me in PR. We have the shades Sparks and Pyrite, and that is what those two shades look like right there. So I'm going to include these two. Okay, and then here is where I have like my primer, so we're going to go through those next. And the ones I had last time were this one from Say. This is like a really teeny, like, I think this is a deluxe sample size of their Glowy Super Gel. And then I had the Milani Skin Quench Primer. I'm going to put both of these back and pick out two new ones. And I'm going to include these two right here. The Laura Geller Spackle Skin Perfecting Primer. This is the hydrating version. And then the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. I'm going to include both of these. I feel like it's been a while since I've used this one maybe. I might be wrong. It's hard to keep up with which primers I use and which I don't in my everyday makeup drawers. But I'm really wanting to use these two. Next up is correctors. The one that I had last time is this one from Smashbox and Becca. This is the Under Eye Brightening Corrector in Fair Light. I'm going to be replacing this one. And the one I'm going to use is this one from Cali Ray. This is the Hideaway Brightening and Hydrating Under Eye Serum Concealer. This one's in the shade, I think it's Cool Sunrise? Yeah, Cool Sunrise. I am going to be including this one. This one's newer to me, so I want to use it a lot more. Okay, for foundation, I have quite a few new ones, and I'm probably going to pull out two of those that I want to really use this month, so I can get more of a feel for them, like more of my thoughts on them. And the two that I had last time were these two right here. I had the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence, and then the Physicians Formula Diamond Perfector Skin Tint. I'm going to be putting both of these back. I had run out of room over here for foundation, so I had to sadly start including some of them over here where my concealers are. So I'm just going to lay those there for right this second. And the two I'm going to include this time this is the Ilia. This is like their new foundation stick, and mine's in the shade 3W Spruce. And then I have the Supergoop Protect Tint Daily SPF, and mine's in the shade 10N. I'm going to be including these two. I want to use these a lot more, especially this Ilia foundation stick. I've only used that maybe about twice now, so I definitely want to get some more use out of that one to get more of an opinion on it. So I'm going to be including these two. For concealer, the last ones I had in there were the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Triple Action Concealer and the Essence Keep Me Covered Concealer. So I'm going to pick out two new ones for this month. And I'm going to include my two newest ones. This one is the Say Slip Tint Concealer, and then this one is from Ilia is their True Skin Serum Concealer. So I'm going to be including both of these this time. These are the newest concealers to me. For mascara, I keep the same ones in every month just till I start to rotate them out. So I have the Refi mascara, the Tower 28, the Hard Candy and Girl Scouts one, and then this one from Colorspell Cosmetics. This is their waterproof version. This one was sent to me in PR, and I'm just going to keep all of these in here. For face palettes, the last one I had in there was this one from Becca. This was the Sunsetter face palette. Just had like these blushes and highlighter bronzer in it. So I'm going to be putting this one back. I'm not going to actually be pulling a face palette from this drawer. I have one right here from Hourglass that I'm going to be using. And it's this one right here from Hourglass. This is the Jellyfish one from last year. This one, if you bought them the way they came, this was the fairest option, like the lightest option they had. So I am going to be including this one this time. I love these palettes from Hourglass. I hope they continue doing the ones with the animals. Okay, for powder last time, I had the Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder, and I actually had the one size loose powder, but I actually did finish that up, so that will be an empty. So I replaced it midway with this one from e.l.f. This is their Halo Glow Setting Powder. This one was just in the light shade, so I'm going to be placing both of these back. And the two I'm going to be including this time is this one from Refi. This is a water-based loose powder, and I'm not sure how I feel about this one yet. This one's newer to me, and I'm still trying to really honestly figure out how to use it. I don't know. I really want to love it because I love a lot of stuff from this brand, but this one is giving me a little bit of trouble. I need to figure out the best way to use this one because I'm just not sure. So I am going to include it and keep trying it out and see if I can just finally figure out the best way to use it. For my pressed option, I have this one from CoverGirl. This is their Clean Fresh Pressed Powder. This one is in the, I think this is the translucent? Yeah, this is the translucent version of this powder. I have hit pan on this. This is one of my favorite powders. It's such a good drugstore powder. I would recommend it for sure. I also have another one in more of a skin tone shade, but it's a really good powder. Okay, so that is everything from this top drawer here. We're gonna move on to the bottom drawer. Okay, we have the second drawer here. Now this drawer has gotten kind of chaotic. I've been buying a lot more lip products lately, and there's now a significant overflow. I want to reorganize this one, but for now this will just have to do. So I'm gonna start with, let's start with bronzers. So the bronzers I had last time were this one from House Labs, and then I had my cream stick bronzer from Merit. So I'm gonna be putting these two back. I'm gonna pick a cream and a powder again this time. Okay, for cream, I'm picking this one from Saie. This is their Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer. This one is in the shade Fair Bronze. This is a lovely bronzer. This one is one of my favorites for sure, so I definitely want to get some more use out of it, so I'm gonna include this one this time. And then for powder, I'm gonna include this little mini one from Lottie London. This is their Sun Kiss Coconut Scented Bronzer in the shade Sunburst. This is kind of like got more of a yellowy undertone to it, so I find that it's perfect for my fair olive undertone skin. So this is a really nice bronzer, so I am going to be including this one. Okay, for highlighters, I had the Briando loose highlighter in the shade Soy Valiente, and then I had the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand highlighter in the shade Champagne. So I'm going to be putting both of these back, and honestly, I don't really want to pick a highlighter if I'm being honest. I haven't been wearing them, but I need to get some use out of the ones that I have kept, so let me put both of these back and see which ones I might can pick out. Okay, the first one, I'm going to pick this one from Rare Beauty. This is their Silky Touch highlighter. This one is in the shade Mesmerize. It's the one that has more of the pinkiness to it. These aren't my favorite if I'm being honest, but I do need to get some more use out of it, so I am going to include this one. And then for my powder one, I'm going to include this one from Physicians Formula. This is their Mineral Wear Diamond Dust. This is more so like just glitter. It's not really a highlighter as much as it is just putting stray sparkle on your face, but I've always liked it because it's kind of, I don't know if subtle is the right word, but it doesn't have like an intense color is what I mean. Like, it's not like this Rare Beauty one, which can give you an absolute stripe on your face if you're not careful. This one doesn't do that, so I'm going to include this one for the powder option. Okay, for lip oils, I had this one from e.l.f. This is their the Glow Reviver lip oil. This one is in the shade, I want to say this one's in Honey Talks. Yeah, in Honey Talks. So I'm going to be putting this one back in here. And the one I'm going to include here is from Colorspell. This is their High Gloss Lip Oil in the shade Twilight. This one was sent to me in PR, and this is basically like a clear. It doesn't have any tint to it, as you can see right there. So I'm just going to include this one and get some more use out of it because these are a little bit newer to me and I do like them, so I'm going to include this one. Okay, for lip balm, I had this one from CoverGirl. This is their Clean Fresh Tinted Lip Balm, and this one was Under a Juniper Tree. This was a limited edition shade they did for Earth Day, I want to say a year or so ago, it was just a clear. It looks green, but it was just a clear. I'm going to put this one back. This isn't a lip balm exactly. This is one of the Pout Clout lip plumping pens from e.l.f. This one is in the shade, I think that says Bust a Mauve. It's really hard to read that. I don't know why e.l.f. puts their stuff in such teeny writing, but it's one of those that you click up. And I haven't used these a ton, so I want to get some more use out of it, and I'm going to probably use them as more of like a lip balm, so I'm going to include this one. For gloss, I had this one from Lawless, which is their Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Gloss in the shade Nudie, and then I had the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Yummy Gloss in Flamingo Pink. I'm going to be putting these two back and picking out two lip glosses. I'm going to include these two right here. This is the Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss in the shade Glazed, and then this is a lip plumper from e.l.f. in the shade Sparkling Rosé, and that is what these two look like. This is Glazed and Sparkling Rosé. Just trying to give myself a few options here. For lipstick, last time I had one of the Rare Beauty matte lipsticks in the shade Humble, and then the e.l.f. O-Face Satin lipstick in the shade No Doubt. I'm going to be including two lipsticks, and I'm going to put these two back. And if you've been watching my videos recently, then it should not come as any surprise that I am going to pick both shades that I have in the Westman Atelier lipsticks. These are their Lip Suede matte lipsticks, and I have the shades Lacquer and the shades PK. And we have the shade PK right here and Lacquer. I'm not the biggest fan of Lacquer on its own, but I'm going to try to pair it up with a lip liner that might make it not look so strange on my lips, because it's very orangey on my lips and I'm not a big fan of orange. So I am going to try to pick out a lip liner that I think would kind of help the color of that a little bit. But I feel like I have kind of a little variety here of my lip products, because I kind of have like some more nude shades, some warm shades, a little bit more of a little cool tone pink shade, and then like of course a gloss to go over the top of any of these. So I'm good with all of these, so let's pick out some lip liners. Okay, last time I had the Rare Beauty matte lip liner in Humble, and then I had one of the e.l.f. Cream Glide lip liners in the shade Baddest Beige. I'm going to be putting both of these back. This time I'm going to include 3 different lip liners. I have this one from Freck, which is the Makeout Club Nude Muse lip liner in shade 1. Then I have e.l.f. This is one of their Cream Glide lip liners in the shade Mauvicide or Mauvicide. And then I have one from Lawless. This is the Forget the Filler Definer liner in the shade Honey Rose. So there we have the Freck Beauty, the e.l.f., and the Lawless one. I think those would pair up really nicely with the shades I've chosen, so I'm going to include all of those. But that is everything from this drawer. This drawer is a mess. Look how I've just have everything tossed in here. I've got to fix this. Hopefully maybe by next time I'll have some better organization going on, or maybe go through some of these and see if there's some I might can declutter. But let's move on from this and go over to where I keep my blushes, and then I can get started on the Get Ready With Me. Okay, I'm here where I have my powder blushes, and then I have my creams over here. Last time I had these two right here, the Rimmel Maxi blush in the shade Third Base, and then I had one from Patrick Ta. This one is in Just Enough, which was this really pretty light bubblegum pink shade. For my cream blush option, I am using this one from Refi. This one is in the shade Rose. This is such a beautiful shade. I just love this shade so much. It's stunning. It's beautiful on fair skin. I just love it. It's the perfect everyday shade for me, so I am definitely including this one. For my powder option, I'm going to use this one from e.l.f. This one's in the shade Blushing. It's like this really pretty, you might not can even see that because my lights are probably really washing that out, but it's like a soft peachy shade, like a soft peachy pinky shade, so I am going to include that one too. And that's all the blushes, so let's move on to putting these back in my everyday makeup drawer, and then we'll be done with picking out these products. Okay, as you can see, I still haven't replaced these things yet. Some other things come up, and I never purchased some new everyday makeup drawers, so I'm still stuck with these acrylics, which, my goodness, even though I cleaned them, they show every fingerprint and scuff and everything. That's why I want to replace them. But let's put all these products right back up in here. And there we have all the products back in their respective home. I struggled to find a place for that Hourglass palette. As we can see, that Refi powder is so bulky. But now that everything is back in their drawers, now it's time to do a look with all of these products. So let's get started on that. Okay, so let's get started on this Get Ready With Me. The only thing I've done off camera is apply a single eyeshadow. This is from Urban Decay. This is one of their little, what was it just called, single shadow? And this one's in the shade Sin. I didn't film this simply because I am working on a video kind of behind the scenes, and I needed to film this separately from this video that I'm filming right now. So that is all I'm wearing on my eyes, and that's the reason why I didn't wear any of the eyeshadow sticks I picked out, simply because I have a video I'm working on and I needed to film myself applying that. But I really do like that shade by itself. It's a perfect one and done. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do some lip prep. This is the Color Spell by Profusion High Gloss Lip Oil. This one is in the shade Twilight, and I do like these lip oils. But I do like these. They feel really wet on the lips. Like, it just feels like I took water and just smeared it on my lips. Like, that's how they feel. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and prep my skin too before I go in, like, with my brows. Well, actually, no, I'll be saving my brows for last. I forgot that I kind of do that now. I wait till after I do my foundation and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my face. This is the Laura Geller Spackle Skin Perfecting Primer. This is the hydrating one. I know she has one that's also, I think, like a matte, I believe, a mattifying one. I'm going to keep most of this out on this portion of my face. This honestly feels more like just a moisturizer. It doesn't really feel like anything special. I mean, I like it, but I just mean it more so feels like you're just applying a second moisturizer on your skin, which is not bad, especially if you have dry skin. I feel like that's probably a good way to go, and you would probably really like this if you did have dry skin, because it does feel really hydrating and nice. It gives you that pretty glow. Of course, now I did already have a glow to my skin because of my SPF, so, but this does give your skin like a nice little fresh plumpness a little bit. Okay, and while I'm letting my primer and everything sink in, I'm going to go right back and do my mascara. The mascara I'm going to use is from Tower 28. This is just in their brown shade, which they call Drift. I really love this mascara. I can tell it's getting a little bit older. I'll soon be having to replace it. I do have a backup of this, but I bought it in the black shade. Simply because I wanted to give the black shade another try, because the first time I used that one, I didn't like it, but I did have a mini, so I wanted to give that one another chance, but I do love the brown shade. It's so natural, so pretty, just perfect every day. Perfect for every day, I should say. And there you can just see that one coat, and I like to do one coat and that's it. I actually like wearing one coat with all the mascaras that I use. I just feel like for my lashes it's better for me, simply because my lashes are a little bit curl challenged, so I find if I apply too much mascara, they will droop. Unless it's a waterproof, but I don't believe I have any. No, I have one. I have one waterproof mascara open right now, and it's not my favorite. Okay, and that's just my one coat, and I'm good to go. I love this mascara. Okay, I feel like my primer's probably had a good time to sink in, so I'm going to use my Ilia. This is the Skin Rewind Complexion Stick. Mine's in the shade 3W Spruce. The last two times I should say, that I have used this, I really did like it. Of course, I really like Ilia simply because they're kind of like a Your Skin But Better. And the brush I'm going to use is from Rose Inc. This is their foundation, no, their number 3 brush, which is their foundation brush. It's a really nice brush. I love the Your Skin But Better type of product. Those are just what I look for in complexion. So anytime there's a new skin tint or something like that on the market, I want to try it because I need to try it. I need to see how it works. And I feel like because I've been a little bit more simple lately with the eye looks, like I've been doing a lot of one and dones, or just very barely there eye looks. I feel like I've been wanting to try more complexion stuff lately. And I guess that comes hand in hand, since I'm not buying as many eyeshadow palettes or eye products lately, other than shadows I can use for one and dones. I want to try more complexion stuff, and I've really been on a foundation journey. I need to knock it off though, I really do, because I have too many, but I don't know. I guess since I'm not focusing as much on the eyes like I used to, I want to try more complexion stuff. And I love Ilia's skin tint, the one they have that has like the little dropper. I really like that one too, but this one's nice. I'm really glad that I did end up picking this one up during the sale, because I didn't really want to miss out on it, because I do like Ilia a lot. Okay, for my corrector, I'm going to use this one from Cali Ray. This is their Hideaway Brightening Hydrating Under Eye Serum Concealer. Mine's in the shade Cool Sunrise. This is a little bit deep for me, I will say, but I thought that it would help cover my dark circles a little bit better. But I do want to try a different shade, but I like this. I love the formula of this, so I definitely want to try, I believe it's the shade Pale Sun. I want to try that one next. Just gonna go in with that same brush that I used. This is a nice brush from Rose Inc. You definitely don't need it. I think this is kind of a pricey brush. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I've had it for a while, but it is nice. It's a nice one. I like the shape of it because it's got kind of like an angle, so you can get into more of these inner corners. And for my concealer, I'm using the one from Ilia. This is their True Skin Serum Concealer. Mine is in the shade, oh lord, SC.5 Arrowroot, I believe. I will have all of this linked for you below. They're not affiliate links. They're just linked for your convenience. And I have like my shades and everything listed too. Just going in with the same brush. It's simpler. Just like that better. Just take a brush and just go right in. I do like my sponge sometimes too, but I figured since I had to use a foundation brush anyway for my foundation stick, why not just go ahead and use the same brush for everything else? And that looks nice. And you know what? I think I will go in with one of these shadow sticks from Color Spell. This one is in the shade Pyrite. I think what I'm going to do is put that on my lower lash line, like just kind of, because it's kind of a similar shade to Sin. Not too far off, so I'm just gonna apply that, at least so I can get some more use out of them. And I'm gonna take a little bit of the shade Sparks, also from Color Spell. This has more of like a pinky. I'm gonna put some right here. It's not very brightening, I should say, on my skin tone, but I kind of like that little pop of pink. Also, I think it'll tie in nicely to the highlighter I'm going to wear because that highlighter has some pinkness to it, so I just wanted to add a little bit of something. Okay, so for bronzer, I'm going in with my Say Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer. This one is in the shade Fair Bronze. This is a nice bronzer. It's so natural on the skin. It just looks like you actually got sun. Like, it doesn't look too, much or fake. At least not this shade for me. I can't speak for any of the other shades, of course, but it's just so perfect. It's not too much, which is what I like, because there are a lot of times where I'm not even wearing bronzer on an everyday basis. So when I am wearing it, I like for it to look as natural as possible. Like, I did go out and get a little bit of sun, but not too much. Just a little bit. But it has been being really warm here for a while. I do live in the south, so it usually stays fairly warm. So I am looking forward to starting to spending some more time outdoors. Of course, believe me, I will be wearing my SPF everywhere because I will burn otherwise. But I find that I tan pretty easily, but I will sometimes can burn first, but then it quickly changes. But I do want to spend some more time outdoors, more so on the weekend. See, that's just so natural, and I love it. This is a nice bronzer. It's one of my very favorites. This one, and then the Merit Cream Bronzer Stick. That one is a favorite too, and I really like this one. I like how I'm just using the same brush for all my face steps. But you know what? It works, and it's less to clean up later to wash. I'm going to go in with my Rare Beauty highlighter. This one is in the shade Mesmerize. I'm just going to go into that once. And even once is too much. I think these are so pretty, but this is not the shade. I wish that I had gotten the lightest shade, but I like this one because I was thinking more so, well, it'll be like a pretty blush topper shade, and it is pretty, but on its own, it's a little bit deep for me, so that's kind of why I'm spreading it around a little bit like a blush. I do have a cream blush I'm going over the top with, so I'm going to kind of apply it the way I would a blush, because you can see it does add like almost like a blushy tone to me. But I wish now I had purchased the lightest shade. I'm not sure exactly what that shade is, but it's more of like a silvery icy kind of highlighter. But I wouldn't purchase it though. I don't know, I'm not really a highlighter person. A lot of the face products I usually wear are already glowy, so highlighter is just not a big deal for me. And my favorite one is that cream highlighter that I have from Merit. That one is really stunning because it's basically like a clear. It just looks like you're lit from within, which is what I like better than highlighters like this, but it is pretty. I'm just using like my this little unicorn thing just to kind of wipe it off. It's dirty. I have to wash it today. Just using that to kind of wipe off some of the products as I'm going. I'm going to go in with my Refi Cream Blush. This one is in the shade Rose. I love this blush. It's so pretty and so darling. I want to look at the other shades that Refi has because I'd be interested in some of them, because this one is perfect. This is like my most everyday kind of shade. I'm going to apply a little bit more on this side, just make that a little more even. Do you ever have one side that you go in a little bit more than the other? I always do that on this side. Then I'm going to go in with my Refi brow pencil and fill in these brows. I like waiting now to the very end. I used to do my brows first, but after I started kind of fluffing up this inner corner, I found that when I went in with my products, like my foundation or powder or whatever, it kind of would mess with that, so I like saving it to the end. I haven't done powder yet, but this powder I'm going to try again today. I'm going to kind of have to keep it very precise. I just can't get this powder to really actually work for me. It's been a journey. And then I'm going to go in with my Refi Brow Sculpt. This is just in the clear. And I like to use this to really fluff up this beginning part of my brows. Like really fluff that up and then just very gently go through the rest of my brows. This will leave like a little white stuff if you're not careful, if you over apply. So I like to keep it more sparingly. But I do really like this brow gel, and I purchased a backup of it during the Sephora sale because I do really like it. This is the only brow gel that I have in my collection currently that will hold these little hairs right here at the beginning of my brow in place. Most of the brow gels that I have in my collection They might keep them fluffed up for like a teeny bit, but then they're already falling back down. And because my brow, this brow in particular, likes to have more of a rounded shape, I like this shape like this. I don't want that too rounded brow if I can prevent it. Okay, the next thing I have, and I don't know what it is about this powder. I cannot get this powder to work for me. I don't know. This is the Refi. This is their Skin Finish water-based powder. This one's in the light. No, in shade 1. Okay. Which is like for light skin tones. I have tried a brush. I've tried a sponge. I've tried a dry sponge. I've tried a wet sponge. Every time I put this on my under eyes, it cakes up. And it doesn't matter what I'm wearing on my under eyes, it will cake up. Now, it looks fine when I place it here or like in here or here, but when I put it under here, it cakes really badly, and I don't know why. I don't know why that is, what I'm doing wrong. I guess because it's a water-based powder, and I thought that it might just be me because I've never used a water-based powder, but I have been using this powder over and over and over almost daily since I purchased it from the sale, which was my first purchase. Or maybe, no, it might have actually been my second, but I just can't get it to work for me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I'm going to use this very teeny little powder puff. This come from Dollar Tree. It was in a pack of 4 and they're like different little colors. I'm going to use this, and you can see it has like a little sifter here. And I'm going to get a little bit, and I'm going to try to press it in. And I'm being very gentle because I did see some reviews on this powder that said it can pull the products underneath up. And I didn't get much on the sponge. Because when I wear it more so like in this area and then up here, it looks beautiful. It doesn't cake up. It looks flawless. It kind of blurs the skin. But every time I use it on my under eyes, and then I feel like, well, maybe I'm just doing something wrong, which is quite possible. You know, if it's me, I will say it's me for sure. But I just been trying it every way I could possibly think of. And then every time I use it, I feel like it just cakes up so badly. Like it mixes, I guess. It looks a little bit better today than it has the other times I've used it. Maybe I'm applying it too soon and the last times. Like maybe you really have to let your under eye products kind of set a little bit before you go in. Because it looks a little better than it did. And that's the only thing I feel like I've done differently. But I'm going to show you, see how when you press it in here, now you see that? It really nicely sets. It was just on my under eyes that I felt like it looked really bad, but on the rest of my skin, it looked fine. And then that's why I felt like it had to be something that I was doing. But maybe I just wasn't letting my under eye products settle a little bit because it looks flawless when you put it on your skin. Like, not under your eyes, just in the other parts. It looks so nice. Also, I love these little sponges from Dollar Tree. If you see them, I would recommend them. Because they really get in nice. See, it looks fine on the rest of my face. So I don't know what it is. See, this is why I like this little teeny sponge. It's so perfect to get right in between my brows. And you can see how it just looks so flawless when it's on. So it's like, it's one of those that I really like it on some parts of my face and then others I don't. I feel like I'm gonna, like, if you watch Teresa is Dead here on YouTube, how she'll say how some products gaslight her, this would be mine. This would be mine. I feel like today is probably the best it's looked on my under eyes. Now, on the rest of my face, it's always looked fine. It's never caked up on the rest of my face. It was always the under eyes, but maybe, just maybe, I was not letting my under eye products sit for a while before I went right in. Like, I would apply them and go right in with the powder, so maybe that made a difference. Because it looks better today. But I'm going to see how it wears. Because I want to love it so badly. Because I like so many of Refi's products, so I want to love it. But it looks better today than it has been. So maybe I figured it out. Maybe that's why, because I just didn't understand why it would work on the rest of my face and not my under eyes. So we'll see how it does throughout the day. And I will put something right here on the screen, or either put it in a pinned comment or something, letting you know how it looked at the end of the day. Okay, for lip liner, I'm going in with Lawless Forget the Filler Definer Liner. This one's in the shade Honey Rose. This is a nice little wooden lip pencil. Okay, and then I'm going in with this e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss. This one's in the shade Sparkling Rosé. I'm gonna wipe some of that off a little bit and just go right here in the center. Okay, and there you have this finished look. I do hope that you enjoyed today's video with this get ready with me picking out my new products. I really love the way this makeup look turned out, and so far so good with that Refi powder. Perhaps that's what I was doing wrong all along, not letting my under eye products sit for a little while before I go in with the powder, because it looks the best it has the whole time I've been using it. I thank you so very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you will please consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification so you are alerted to all my future uploads, and follow me over on Instagram at jessicadeerly, and I hope to see you in my next video.